The hot girl weighs 800 pounds, with a huge pair of buttocks that make her look like a monster. This is not a movie, it's an actual person. The woman is called Pierce. Her extreme obesity makes it impossible for her to live independently. Normally, it's her boyfriend and daughter who take care of her. She even needs her 300-pound daughter to help her get up from the couch. She needs a specially made commode for using the bathroom, and bathing involves lying in bed while her daughter uses a sponge to clean her, as she can't fit into the bathtub. Due to the accumulation of fat, her skin in the folds has already started to break down, and there's severe lymphedema. Pierce has long been fed up with her appearance.
But when I see myself in a mirror, I feel like some monster.
But her boyfriend seems content with it.
Charity makes me happy and I love being around her. So I take care of her almost all the time.
The reason she became like this is because of her tragic childhood. Her father was an alcoholic who would beat her and her mother every time he drank. She lived in constant fear, and the only way to alleviate her emotions was to sneak to the kitchen to eat after her father fell asleep.
I was okay as long as I was eating. My only comfort was food.
Until it resulted in her current appearance. Under her influence, her daughter also became increasingly overweight. She worried her daughter would follow in her footsteps. Besides the image problem, her main concern was health. At this time, she received the devastating news of her mother's brain cancer, which caused her profound grief. She wanted to take care of her mother, to spend her final moments, but her size made it impossible for her to act. At that moment, Pierce finally decided, for her mother and her daughter's sake, she had to lose weight. How hard is it for an 800-pound woman to step out of the door, dressed in medical attire? Having shaved, she called for an ambulance. With the help of 5 medical staff, she managed to laboriously leave the room, lying on a stretcher. Then everyone together lifted her into the vehicle. It was the first time in over 20 years that she had stepped out of her room and the first time she had resolved to lose weight. Arriving at the hospital, she was weighed 778 pounds. Seeing this number, the doctor immediately arranged for her to be admitted. The doctor warned if she continued binge eating, Pierce might not live through the next year. A diet plan was set for her: high protein, low carbohydrates, with a daily calorie intake not exceeding 1,000 calories. To help Pierce stay on track, her daughter joined her in eating the weight loss meals. After 2 months of effort, Pierce successfully lost 49 pounds. Seeing the relatively good results, the doctor allowed her to return home for self-supervised weight loss. Can she successfully continue her weight loss journey at home? The 800-pound hot girl decided to lose weight, starting by throwing away all the high-calorie foods in her home. Her boyfriend and daughter opposed the decision, considering it too extreme, but Pierce believed stepping out of her comfort zone was necessary for positive change. However, a month later, when Pierce arrived at the hospital full of confidence, she discovered she had only lost 16 pounds, far from the doctor's target of 40 pounds. She felt disheartened, but the doctor didn't criticize her. Instead, he offered her another chance to meet the surgery's criteria more quickly. The doctor suggested Pierce remain in the hospital for further weight loss. After another month of effort, Pierce finally became eligible for a gastric reduction surgery. The doctor intended to reduce her basketball-sized stomach to the size of a ping-pong ball, aiming to control appetite by reducing stomach capacity. After 3 hours of work, the surgery was successful. If all goes well, Pierce could lose 25 pounds every month. Upon losing an additional 46 pounds, she would be ready for skin removal surgery. After shedding 181 pounds, she could finally bid farewell to her butterfly-like buttocks through a slicing operation. The doctor worked tirelessly for a staggering 6 hours, removing 57 pounds of fat from Pierce's body. Post-surgery, without the butterfly-like buttocks, Pierce's steps became considerably lighter. Upon leaving the hospital, for the final weigh-in, she registered at 496 pounds, having shed a remarkable 282 pounds. Everyone felt elated for Pierce and was filled with hope for her future. Unfortunately, her boyfriend, upon witnessing her becoming thinner, unexpectedly abandoned her. Later on, she was diagnosed with kidney cancer and had to undergo kidney removal. It must be said, Pierce's life was tragic, but what's admirable is her sheer determination. Against the odds, she carved a path for herself with her resilient willpower amid life's adversity. These 2 stump-like creatures are actually a young girl's legs. Because her excess body fat obstructs her view, every trip downstairs becomes an adventure into the unknown. Each successful step on the stairs is a stroke of luck. Missing a step could result in a fall. During such moments, the girl can't help but burst into tears, feeling utterly worthless. The girl's name is Anna. At 23 years old, she possesses an angelic face. However, her 600-pound obesity places an unbearable burden on her skeletal structure, limiting her ability to stand for more than 30 30 minutes. Every step she takes feels as if she's carrying a sandbag on a needlepoint. Her entire body is plagued by pain. As a result, Anna spends most of her time in bed. She lives steeped in profound self-loathing, experiencing a deep sense of disillusionment. When her mood sours, she compulsively eats, only to regret it afterward, plunging her back into a cycle of anxiety. Her parents are caught in a dilemma, torn between their concern for Anna's health and their reluctance to see her go hungry. As a result, they readily oblige when she requests food. Anna's boyfriend is incredibly considerate, showing unwavering support. He not only accepts her obesity but also makes an effort to take her out for relaxation, even accompanying her to the supermarket to buy her favorite snacks. Now, at a weight of 600 pounds, the doctor has delivered a grim prognosis. He's told her if she continues down this path, she won't live past 30. This realization has finally struck fear into Anna's heart. Given her current circumstances, the most effective approach to losing weight is through surgery. She's headed to Houston for weight loss surgery. It's her first time on a plane, and she's being pushed by her father. Passers-by cast strange glances, some even taking out their phones to take pictures. Anna feels like a clown, utterly embarrassed. Finally aboard the plane, another problem arises, as even with 2 seats, there's still not enough room for her. After enduring numerous hardships, she finally reaches the hospital. The doctor instructs her to step on the scale, and her weight registers at 657 pounds, which is approximately 600 kilograms. For her, the most effective method of weight loss right now is gastric reduction. However, the doctor doesn't immediately schedule the surgery. Instead, he sets a test for her, asking her to shed 18 pounds within a month. This is because gastric reduction surgery is merely a means of weight loss, and the true path to slimming down relies on determination and willpower. Can she do it? Anna begins her weight loss plan in accordance with the doctor's advice. Step 1. Control her eating, manage portion sizes, and learn to calculate calories. Her boyfriend deliberately tempts her with hot dogs, but Anna manages to resist. Step 2. Get moving. She endures the excruciating pain throughout her body and goes for a walk every day. After a month of unwavering dedication, Anna sheds 16 pounds. Though she falls short of her initial goal, the doctor recognizes her determination and agrees to perform the gastric reduction surgery for her. The whole family is quite anxious because, after all, the surgery carries risks. Fortunately, the surgery is very successful. However, a few days later, Anna is once again taken to the hospital, this time complaining of chest pain, but it's not due to physical reasons, it's psychological. Anna shares that she has been discriminated against because of her obesity since she was a child, a pain that she can never erase, and because of her physical condition. Even in her early 20s, she still needs her family's care, which makes her feel guilty towards her parents. A mental health professional comforts her and encourages her to let go of the psychological burden. From that point on, Anna focuses on her weight loss journey and sheds 267 pounds in 1 year. But just when things seem to be going well, an unexpected event occurs. Her boyfriend, who has been with her for many years, suddenly proposes a breakup because he has a fetish for overweight individuals. This hottie, shaped like an octopus, used to be the heaviest in the world. Her name is Mayla. At her heaviest, she weighed a whopping 940 pounds, with one leg weighing 300 pounds. To take care of her, her husband quit his job to become a homemaker. In the morning, the husband would use a bucket of water to help Mayla bathe. It's surprising that Mayla, with a weight close to half a ton, only needed a small amount of water for a bath. Her husband would use a spray bottle to thoroughly wet Mayla, concluding the bath. During hair washing, Mayla needed to hang upside down, holding onto a ring. Then, her husband would wash her legs and buttocks. Mayla's lower body was covered in lymphatic tumors. Every gap needed careful cleaning to prevent infection. After the cleaning routine, her husband would start preparing lunch for her. Her daily calorie intake reached almost 20,000, 10 times that of a normal adult. However, her huge buttocks summoned an accusation of killing her nephew. At the age of 23, Mayla's knees could no longer bear the weight of her body, making a cracking sound. Since then, she never left her bed. Her buttocks grew larger, and more tumors developed. Mayla constantly faced life-threatening situations. How could she possibly roll over and crush her nephew? The story was full of holes. Later, Mayla's sister couldn't endure the hardships of life on the run, confessing to using a comb to fatally strike her son. As Mayla's health worsened, her husband called an ambulance. Paramedics, shocked at the sight of Mayla in bed, quickly called for more help. Facing an urgent situation, people broke her door. It took a dozen of them working together to get her into the ambulance. Yet, during the transport, Mayla's health kept declining. Mayla's lymphatic tumors had reached their limit, appearing reddish-purple all over. with lymph fluid continuously coming out through her skin. Doctors immediately performed surgery to drain the lymphatic fluid, temporarily saving her life. To regain her health, she needed to lose weight immediately. With the assistance of doctors, Mayla shed 250 pounds in 2 months. Her leg lymphatic tumors were healed after 18 surgeries. 2 years later, Mayla appeared on camera again. This time, she weighed only 233 pounds. However, shortly after their weight loss journey, she and her husband split up. But with Mayla's newfound appearance, she was sure to find love again. What's the daily grub for an 600-pound dude? For breakfast, he starts with 2 biscuits. Then, his daughter slides in with a bowl of mashed potatoes as a warm-up. Now for the main event, 6 eggs and 5 steaks, drowning in cheese and meat sauce. 3 helpings, no less. Top it off with a sweet slice of cake. Noontime, he's crushing 2 hefty pork chops with a side of mashed potatoes and corn. Wife's on point, stacking up another plate for him. James plows through 5 rounds, capping it all off with another slice of cake. For snacks, he tackles 2 fish fillets with a side of carrots. Man grumbles about healthiness, says it's like eating air. Wife ain't having it, so she orders Chinese takeout, fried rice, and crispy, juicy spring rolls. After wolfing down 5 rounds, he's finally waving the white flag. But is that it? Nah, the night munchies are still on the horizon. Midnight strikes. The wife's off to grab a burger. Dude's still not satisfied.
Can I have my other burger?
Yes.
Wife reluctantly hands over her own stash. With that done, lights out. Time for some shut-eye. Can you believe this is a person's leg? This dude weighs over 600 pounds. Even his own daughter finds it awkward to witness the struggle when he needs to turn over. James is from the United States. Growing up in a financially struggling household, he developed a habit of overeating. At 15, he's already rocking 230 pounds. By 18, he's hitting the 400-pound mark. At 20, he meets Lisa, his current wife, a cool 12 years older. She's all about pampering James, saying yes to his every whim, with her spoiling him rotten. James just keeps piling on the pounds, hitting a whopping 540 by the time he's 30. His ankles can't handle the strain of all that weight, so he's stuck in bed for 4 years. Now he's clocking in at 800 pounds. He's also developed cellulitis, with his entire body covered in oozing, festering sores. Without weight loss, his life is at risk. His wife and daughter decide to take him to a major hospital in Houston, seeking the expertise of weight loss specialists. The dude has lying in the bed for 4 years. His lazy lifestyle has skyrocketed his weight to a whopping 600 plus pounds. He's got cellulitis on his legs. His entire body is covered in oozing, festering sores. Today, he's being transported to a major hospital in Houston. When the firefighters arrive, the first thing they do is yank off the door. Then, a crew of burly guys grab the bedsheet, trying to hoist him onto the moving bed. But guess what? Dude's so massive, he gets stuck on the way out. Amidst his screams, they finally wrestle him out and get him on the plane to Houston. At the hospital, the scale reads a jaw-dropping 735 pounds. The doc's fuming mad. But get this, James is still acting all high and mighty, claiming he gets cranky when hungry. His wife's wearing this pitiful look, explaining she has no choice but to cave because if she doesn't feed James, he throws a fit. So, she's stuck in a tight spot. The doc was speechless. Without weight loss, death was looming. Despite this, his wife continued feeding him high-calorie foods, much to the doctor's dismay.
He said, I don't believe a word you said. You know how many times you say this? And at this point, whether it is intentional or not is irrelevant because there's no argument. You're killing him.
Seeing the couple obstinately ignoring advice, the doctor outright kicked them out of the hospital. In the end, James succumbed to multiple organ failure, putting an end to his tragic life. If he and his wife had cooperated a bit more during the medical intervention, perhaps the outcome could have been different. Regardless of intent or emotional reasons, the ending was inevitable and unchangeable. You'd never guess the skinny guy used to be a hefty 600-pounder just a year ago. Lanny is a barber specializing in quick, 3-minute haircuts. It's not that he cuts hair at lightning speed, it's just that his legs can only support him standing for 3 minutes. He had an even heavier younger brother, John, tipping the scales at 686 pounds. The two brothers don't usually live together, but since they started their weight loss journey, they've been exercising and eating together every day. In the span of a year, John shed an impressive 240 pounds. Lanny dropped 200 pounds. On this day, Lanny decided to share his weight loss secrets. The dude shed 200 pounds in a year and is generously spilling the beans on his weight loss secrets.
I don't eat carbs. I haven't had pasta or bread or rice since we started the journey. And now I mostly just eat protein like eggs, meat, chicken, you know. I do sometimes kind of have dreams where all this is over. Like this was all a dream, and that's the most terrifying because I can't go back to that bad place.
However, with loose and saggy skin post-weight loss, he needed surgery to remove it. Lanny convinced his younger brother to consult a doctor. The doctor suggested Lanny should gain some weight first, while his brother needed to lose more. Left with no choice, Lanny hit the gym with his brother. After a month, Lanny successfully gained 12 pounds. The skin removal surgery went smoothly. The doctor managed to cut off nearly 10 pounds of excess skin from Lanny. After his big bro underwent surgery, John wasn't about to be left behind. 2 months later, he shed 9 pounds and was ready for his own skin removal surgery. His skin's practically hanging off. The doc takes a peek and finds out his chest is infected from all the skin rubbing. They gotta hustle and schedule some skin removal surgeries. With excess skin out the wazoo, they gotta break up the surgery into 3 rounds. After the surgery, Lanny's feeling more confident by the day. Not only does he snag himself a new boyfriend, but his little bro also fully embraces and cheers him on.
I'm happy for Lonnie. Richard is a wonderful guy. He seems great. Lonnie's happy, so, you know, as long as Lonnie's happy, I'm okay with it. But to be honest, I miss him a little bit, because those guys have been spending every waking moment together.
The little bro also regains his mobility post-surgery, lands a job. Weight loss really does have the power to turn life around.